everyone. It is a very overcast and sometimes off and on rainy Saturday today. But I thought that I would come on and bring a little bit of color and brightness, hopefully, to your day. Hopefully everybody's staying safe in the weather. I know that there's some crazy stuff happening in various parts of, at least in the US, I'm sure in the world as well. But I have a box, this super cute box, says love. I got this from a Whatnot seller named Draz. She's amazing. But yeah, so I have a box of stuff here, and I am doing a raid train on Whatnot. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically where one seller starts a show, and then for every 15, it ranges, every 10, 15, 30 minutes, every hour after that, then they will take everybody that was in their show and go into another person's show, and then that person will go into another person's show. So it's just like a line of train cars or a line of shows that you can just kind of follow. And I am doing one called the Be Amazing Raid Train on March 9th. My show time I will put here because I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's like 2:30 in the afternoon or 3. I can't remember. Anyways, I'll put it right here just so that you can see what it is. But I have decided that I'm going to work on a bunch of different bee themed items for this one. My goal is 10 items. At this point in time, I have finished technically 9. I think we're going to find out together. But hey, Monkey has come to say hello. And so, so this is what she does. This is why she's called a monkey. It's her name. But anyways, so, I am going to actually talk through some of the bees that I have made for this, and I have yarn fuzzies on my clothes. And then I will actually link any patterns that I used in the description box. Now, I did not use patterns for everything, so I cannot give you patterns for all of these things. Some of them have been free-handed. So, and then some of them have been a look at something, say, oh yeah, I can make that, and then kind of create it on my own. So I will either put the inspiration pattern below if there is one, or I will put the link to the pattern below in the description box. So just take a look at those if you're interested. Everything that I have done for all of these items have been free items, free patterns that I am actually working with. And so there are several items that there's one item that I don't have anymore because I already sent it out before the train, but I did make it for the train specifically. I'll tell you about that at the end though. But let's get started. So for this raid train, we're actually required to do a $5 start item. And for anybody that does handmade stuff, selling something bigger that has taken you several hours to complete for only $5 is a little bit scary, but the idea is that it starts at $5 and then people will bid up so that it is actually selling for much higher than that. Now, I did this with a small dragon before, started out at $1, which was terrifying, and sold it for $20. So that was actually really nice and pretty exciting. So we're gonna see, but for my $5 start for this Be Amazing Raid Train, I am actually going to be using this super cute, huge, chunky bee. Now this is a pretty standard bee pattern. It's basically starting out with a magic ring of 6. You work your way up to the size that you want the bee to be. You do a couple of rows in yellow, you do a couple rows in black, couple rows yellow, couple rows black, and then you just decrease down to close it off. So it's pretty standard. I did not actually follow a pattern for this one, so I don't have one that I can link to you, but if you just search for free crochet amigurumi bee patterns, you'll find a plethora of them. And I got it to be this size because of the number of rows that I actually did before I started to create the body. So pretty excited with how this one turned out. I did use the glittery gold eyes that I got off of Amazon. If you just search for amigurumi glitter eyes, you can find them on Amazon pretty easily. But I did do that. And then the wings on this one, I actually used a modified version of the wings from another pattern, which I will link below because I also created that pattern. So this is my $5 start. This is item number 1, and unfortunately there's no pattern for it, but again, just search for Bee Amigurumi pattern and you can find one pretty easily. So the bee that I used the wings for from that one is actually from where is it? Oh, maybe this one was the one that I used. Actually, maybe I did use a pattern for this one. Apologies, guys. I will link the pattern if I did use a pattern for this one because I'll go find it. But I'll find the pattern for the wings at the very least so that you can use them. The cool thing about these wings is they're actually made wider, and then you crinkle them up and you sew them together so it gives it this nice little crinkled effect, and then it still has the rounded bee kind of wing shape. So again, I'll find the pattern for the wings and link them down below. The next little item that I had was a special requested item. This one did not use a pattern either. I know I'm kind of a slacker. Like I want to like support other people and use more patterns, but I did use a pattern on Ribbler that kind of was the inspiration for this one, but it is a bee turtle. So it is a bee themed turtle. This one already has pre-bids on it on Whatnot because it was a special requested item. So I decided I would go ahead and make it. It'd be for the bee train. They could get it there. And if they didn't win it there, then I'll just make another one. But I used the same wings on this one that I used on the big chunky bee, just a smaller version of them. And then this one is supposed to be for a little kid. So I did do the embroidered eyes and smile instead of the safety eyes because I want to make sure that it's safe for little children. So bee turtle pattern number 2. Again, I will link the pattern that inspired this that I used as inspo for it, but I did not actually follow a pattern to make the bee turtle. So just keep that in mind. The next item, let me find something I actually did use a pattern for. Okay, so I actually did use this as a pattern. This is super cute. I was testing a pattern on Ribbler for someone, and this is the Bath and Body Works fragrance holders. So it actually hangs in your car with whether it's on the rearview mirror, if it's legal in your state to do that, or in the back seat somewhere, or under your console, wherever you can hang it in your car safely. And legally. That's what this is designed for. The pattern was just for the sunflower, and this is what it looks like on the back. Just kind of break it open and then slip it in, and just like you would use for the ones that you can purchase from Bath and Body Works, and then it will release the fragrance and everything. But because I wanted it to be bee themed, I went ahead and added a little bee to it. And this was basically a mini version of my big jumbo bee. I just used acrylic yarn and less rows to get this shape, and then I didn't actually do any details on it because it is so tiny, but this is super adorable. I will link the pattern to this one below for sure. So this is item number 3 that I have, and I did make it bee themed, so if you want to do the bee theme, you can follow the pattern for the sunflower fragrance holder, and then you can add your own little bee to it. The next item on my list, the next item is what is it? All right, so I did 2 of these little coasters. Now, these are double thick coasters, so I feel like it's safe. It is acrylic. I wouldn't put a hot pot on this, but you can definitely set something like a mug of coffee or tea or something on it, or hot chocolate, whatever you prefer to drink. But I am doing a set of 2 for these. This was a free pattern on Ravelry. So I'll link it below. It did not actually have any, it didn't actually have anything with bee in the name for this pattern, but I went ahead and am calling this bee themed because it is the colors of the bee. So I will link this pattern below. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 items, so I still have plenty more to go. Now, for anybody that is a fan of using a knitting machine, you have probably made a pretty standard hat. And I decided that I wanted to have something that was simple and quick to work up, something that I could still justify charging a reasonable amount for because it's still a high quality item, and then something that was just super cute and kind of unique. So I actually ended up making this double layered hat. So I made the pom-pom that goes on top of it because why not? It is super cute. Love how the colors kind of combine with this in this to make it look like that. But as you can see, it is the double layer, so it is super warm. Definitely, I've had people buy these hats for me and they tell me I am sweating inside if I have this hat on. I wear this outside when it is super cold and that is it. So I know that winter is hopefully going away for most of us now, but why not grab one for next season? Plus, I just love the color yellow, especially on like a really dull, cold winter day when you just need something to brighten up your day. So this did not follow a pattern, but there are plenty. So I'll pick a video on YouTube and just link it to it so that you can kind of see how to make these hats. And then I'll link to the tool that I used if I can find it to make the pom-poms, probably on Amazon. So what else? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. I believe I said I have 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey guys, I think I actually have 10 items already. I just don't physically have one of them with me. So this is great. This is exciting. I'm supposed to have 10 items. So then item number 6 is this super cute little grumpy bee. This is a free pattern on Ribbler. I will link it below, but I used this is some yarn that I got off of Temu of all places. And I absolutely love this darker like honey yellow color compared to the really bright yellow that I used for this one. It was just a really nice contrast. I really liked it. So he's got super cute little wings going on here, his little antennas. I did use safety eyes on this one, so I wouldn't recommend this one for kids under the age of 6, but then it's got the little bobble stitches for the hands and feet, and this is just so adorable. I love this one. This is the first one that I made actually. Then I did pull a bee out of my collection because I've had this bee in my collection for a while, but I went ahead and added it just because I thought it was adorable. I'm looking at it now and I'm realizing that I probably sewed the wings on backwards. This is one of the first bees I ever crocheted, probably about maybe almost, let's see, not a year ago. So probably about 8 months ago. But this is super adorable. Again, I did freehand this one. It was my first attempt at really trying to freehand something. But I am putting it in the show just because why not? At the point when I was making these, so funny story. When I was first making these, I really didn't understand how to do mouths on amigurumi things, and I still don't feel super confident. So a lot of the mouths that I do will end up being like the V-shaped mouth, just because I like the V-shaped mouth. I think it's really adorable. But sometimes I'll do something like this one where it's just kind of a line, and this one. But this one, when I first started doing amigurumi stuff, not very long ago, I decided I was not gonna put mouths on them. That way people could decide their own personality and whether it was a happy bee or a sad bee or an angry bee or whatever. So I didn't put any mouths on a large majority of the plushies that I made when I first started sometime in the last 8 to 10 months. So funny story. Now, my absolute new obsession is making bags. I love making bags. I don't know why, because I don't really carry bags other than just, I have a bag that I've literally had since I was in college, which is like 15 years ago. Okay, maybe not that long ago, but almost 15 years ago. and I have been carrying it for that time, the majority of it. It was a bag I picked up in Honduras when I was there one summer, and I've just continued to carry that. But I have a new obsession now, and it is the bags that I'm crocheting, and I am trying to figure out which one I want to crochet for myself and actually keep for myself. If you follow me on Instagram at Lady Nazlia Creations, then you will actually have seen the mushroom bag that I made for my cousin, which was super cute. Absolutely loved that one, and it was so much fun to make. So I basically took that bag and then found an applique from another website, from another creator, and I took their applique, which was a bee, and I combined it with the base of the bag that I did for the mushroom, and then mixed up the colors and everything. And I did that to create this. Guys, this is absolutely stunning. I love this bag so much. All of the antennas, not sure which one it is, and the wings on all of the bees are not attached, so they are 3D. So there is a little bit, it is raised a little bit from where I sewed the applique onto the granny squares, and then the back side is just white because these bees take a lot of time to make, guys. Let me tell you, you have to make 2 wings, and then you have to make a head, and then you have to make the body, and then you have to sew it all together, and then you have to sew it all onto the granny square. So it is a lot of work, but it was totally worth it. So this is going to be one of the items that I'll be selling during the raid train, and to make it extra special, I added these handles that can be changed out. I got them on Amazon. They're pretty easy. They just snap on and off, but they feel really secure, so I feel like you shouldn't have any issues with them coming unsnapped or anything. And then I worked around the loops a couple of extra times just to make them a little bit stronger. And then my favorite part, I lined it, guys. I lined it with this super beautiful blue bee lining. I did ask my followers on Whatnot what color lining I should do, and I had a purple lining and I had a blue lining, and there was a not unanimous decision for blue, but there was a pretty big difference in those who voted for blue and those who voted for purple. So this is one of the items that I'm going to be doing. I will link the pattern to both the applique for the bee and then the original mushroom bag, which was on Ravelry. The bee pattern was just off of somebody's personal website, so I'll go in and I'll find that one, and I'll make sure that I link it down below. So you'll have 2 different parts. You will have to put them together. And then even for the mushroom bag, she gives credit, the creator of the mushroom bag gives credit to assembling the bag to the original creator of the style of bag, I guess. So I will definitely link it below so that you can take a look at all of them. But I will definitely be making more of these bags because they're so cute. They are time consuming to make, but they're totally worth it, and they're so much fun. So very excited about that one. And in the same realm of bees and bags, I have one more bag that I made. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I did modify it a little bit because I felt like the original design was specifically designed with children in mind, and I wanted the bag to be something that I felt like I as an adult would carry, or a child could carry if I wanted to buy it for a child as well. Now, I have not actually lined this one yet, but I'm thinking about doing a YouTube video to line it. So if you would like to see how I line my bags, then leave a comment down below just so that I know that you're interested in it, because I definitely want to put that out there. I don't consider myself to be professional when it comes to lining bags, other than the fact that I do line the bags that I sell, but it's something that's relatively new to me, so I'm still learning. But I would like to share my process, and then maybe get some tips and tricks from people that are doing this and have done this for a really long time. But I do sew around the lining of these, so I do use a sewing machine, but I don't sew them into the bag. But if you want to know how I line my bags, let me know in the comments below. Now, the last bag that I made, I did do some very heavy modifications for this bag, because this bag had a bee face on it. It had bee wings on it. It also had straps that were taken from an old backpack, which I think is really cool, because I am all for upcycling and reusing things that are no longer useful in their original form. In fact, it's something that I really want to get into a little bit more with crocheting and stuff. So I think it's absolutely fantastic that that was the design, but I didn't have an old backpack with straps that I could pull off. So instead I ended up making my own straps, and I could tell you a little bit about my straps. They're pretty basic, but let me show you the bag first, because it's just super cute. So this is, without further ado, the other bee bag. It is a backpack, and it is so tiny and cute, but it's adorable. I feel like this is something that if you're going out and you just need something small, but you don't want to have stuff in your hands, then you can just easily throw this on. It does fit on my back. I did make this big enough to where it should fit an adult or a child. So I just think this is absolutely adorable. So it's got the bee themed colors. The straps that I made, basically what I did was I did a row of I think it was 60 single crochets. It's a lot, 60 single crochets. And then I did a second row of single crochets and then a third row of single crochets. And then I went back around and did another one on that starting chain and did a fourth row of single crochets. And then I went in with a black border. So it ends up technically being 7 rows. And then you can see how I really tried to reinforce these. I don't think this is the most beautiful way to sew these on and to reinforce them, but I literally went all the way around, then I went over all the way around, and then I did this cross in the middle of all of them just to make sure that these were very strong and secure. I also added this hook to the top of it, or this little loop, so that you can easily hang it up on stuff. And then I didn't do the face on the bag. The original design had some safety eyes, and this was like the bee's mouth, which was super cute. But again, I wanted to make sure that this was both adult and kid friendly in terms of being able to carry it and feeling comfortable carrying it. And then it just has the little loop that goes over the button, and then it does have a drawstring on the inside so that you can pull it tight, which is super cute. And then I kind of tuck my drawstring up in. You could leave it down and then just button over the drawstring as well, but I think it's just a little more aesthetically pleasing if you tuck the drawstring in before you button it. But then this is what it looks like on the inside right now. And again, I am having a hard time showing you guys. I am planning to line this before the raid train next Saturday, so just keep that in mind, and then look out for the video for that if you're interested. I do plan to do a video for that. So this is my final item that I have physically here with me. Now, I am going to put this item up on the screen here because it is not an item that I actually have, and I couldn't actually find a pattern for it, but somebody sent me a picture of a bearded dragon because she has bearded dragons, or she has a bearded dragon, and it was wearing a costume. And she wanted to know if I could make a little hat and a little like bearded dragon bee costume for her bearded dragon to wear during the bee raid train. If you want to see this actually on the bearded dragon, you will have to check out Dragon Hoarder's show on Whatnot, and it will be again the same day as mine on March 9th, so you can just go on to Whatnot and search for Dragon Hoarder, and I'll put her name on the screen just so that it's easier for you guys to see it. But yeah, she's supposed to be having the dragon, the bearded dragon, actually wearing the the bee costume. So, but I will put a picture of it again here so that you guys can see what it looks like. And then check out my Instagram probably after Monday, because she's supposed to be getting the costume and then she's gonna send me a picture of it. So I will actually go in. I'm gonna post this video before Monday because I want everybody to see what I've made for the train. And then on Monday I'll actually include on my Instagram, and maybe even a reel on, or not a reel, sorry, a short on YouTube as well, just so that everybody can see what the bearded dragon costume looks like. I am hoping it fits. I added like drawstrings to the top and the bottom and around the hat, just so that she can have the option of like tightening it or loosening it if she needs to. So because I've never made a costume for a bearded dragon before, it was an interesting challenge, but it was a lot of fun, and it really didn't take me that long, so it was pretty exciting. But yeah, that is pretty much it for all of my bee themed items. I do have 2 more that I'm technically working on. One of them is a queen bee, and one of them is going to be a teddy bear that is dressed in a bee costume. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish those because I do have several custom orders that I have to finish up before Wednesday. And then I have 2 more custom orders that I have to finish, or that I have to start on March 9th. So I'm kind of a little swamped with custom orders right now, which is not a bad thing. But I am pretty excited about it. But if I can get the other 2 bee themed items, then I will post them in shorts, and then I will also have them available during my March 9th show. So again, check out my show on Whatnot, March 9th. Follow the Bee Raid Train. There are like 40 different people that are going to be selling bee themed items during this raid train, which is super exciting, and I can't wait, because there are some very talented artists and handcrafters, and all of the items in this show are handmade, so that's super exciting. We've got some 3D printed stuff, we've got some resin, we've got some other crocheters, we have people that sew, we have people that paint on bags, we have people that paint on canvas, people that make dragons, like Dragon Hoarder has made a bee themed dragon. So I am so excited to actually be able to see the items that other people have made, and I will be posting a short eventually, hopefully once I get all the pictures from everybody in the next day or 2, that actually highlights all of those items, so you can get a preview of the $5 start items that people are going to be running on that day on that raid train. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Check out my other videos. Definitely subscribe, like this video, help the algorithm out, help me get a little bit more attention to my new crochet account, and then leave a comment below. Again, if you want to see a video of how I line my bags, leave a comment below so that I know that somebody's interested in it. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, have a great weekend, great week, depending on when you're watching this, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye.